Hello, welcome to Footcorn TV. I'm Sparks. This is We're the North Bank podcast. And first we've got Dom with us. How are we, sir?
Yeah, very good, mate. Very good. Feeling a little bit better after last night. Obviously, I wasn't worried that the season was going to implode, but obviously you want to bounce back with the win that we need, and I think the players needed it as well as a fan. So I'm much happier. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. As you said, I was kind of a bit of I was more worried about this one than I was about any of the others, to be honest with you. Granted, I probably wouldn't say that if you weren't in the position that we are in the Premier League. But yeah, it's good to stop the rot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have been nice to stop it before the Southampton game for me, but I can kind of see positives around it. It doesn't mean I wanted it to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So I still wanted to be in the competition. But yeah, I can take positives from it.
Yeah, exactly. There are more negatives than positives, but there are a few positives that you can take from it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously the fixture schedule now is a little bit less tense. I don't care who we were playing, when we were playing them, or whatever. I just think that it's just we've played 3 games every 3 days, pretty much all season. So I just think it's good to have a bit of a break up in there, but not good to be out of the competitions, if you know what I mean. So it's like taking positives out of a bad situation.
Yeah, you'd rather 100% still be in that competition, in the semi-finals, back at Wembley, chance to avenge the cup final defeat to Manchester City, and have the momentum going as a result of getting that winning. But that is the one positive, is that we've got a weekend off, which will give us, a 7-day break or so, but, give or take that weekend, or allow us to play a Premier League game and put that little bit of extra scoreboard pressure, hopefully, on City. That's the only positive out of it. But, we've always said that the quadruple was unlikely.
Yeah.
Obviously, that went with the cup final loss, which, was very, very upsetting. Obviously,
no. Apparently, you can get Community Shield and all sorts in it now. It's you can make it up as you go along now. It's not a real quadruple. It's whatever.
Is that including winning the training match?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But,
bibs against no bibs.
Yeah, proper old school. But the thing there about this is that would have been the ideal. If I was going to lose one of these 2 games, it would have definitely been the Southampton one. Having lost the cup final, you definitely want to win the Southampton one. But we are where we are now, and all we can focus on is, can we get these last 2 over the line?
Yeah, the thing is, at the end of the day, we can do a lot of things, but turning back time is not one of them. So we kind of have to look forwards, and I prefer to support the team rather than look for the negatives on it. I've been told that makes me lesser of a fan, that doesn't have standards. I don't have mentality. I don't have this, that, and the other. And yeah, I wouldn't have that mentality had we not been in the position that we are in the Premier League.
Yeah, I've had that as well. I mean, quite aggressively, to the point that, to try and make me look bad, people invented things I said, and of course couldn't back it up at all. And I don't understand that. I think the time for recriminations is at the end of a season. As you say, we can't turn back time because we're not share. But come on, you've got to give me that one.
I was going to use it anyway, so you just beat me.
Oh, well, there we go. I wouldn't make mine and collide, but one of them's mine. Exceptional. But, if you get just the Premier League set at the end of a season, that's a good season.
Just the Premier League, yeah.
Exactly. But you'd probably be in a world where you're like, oh, it could have been. But equally, but as a time for the reflection is at the end. Right now, it's let's get behind them, load of these fans, including the ones that were having a pop at me, I've seen them going, great performance, great result, Mikel Arteta. It's like, hang on, there were criticism of both performances, by the way, rightly so. We were poor in both games, less poor against Southampton than people said, but it's a poor result, certainly. Poor in the cup final. But now you're going, you're going up, like, which is it? You're going absolutely all in. We're not winning the league. We're not winning.
It's because they wanted out of the competition, isn't it? That's all it is. It just meets their agenda. That's all it does.
Yeah.
So Arteta's got to go. We're out of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Arteta's got to go. And then celebrating that one. Now, we should be celebrating the wins. There's a really, really good thing. But get behind the team, because you weren't getting behind the team. You were kind of saying, I've even heard, I hope we lose, get battered in Sporting, in Portugal, sorry, not in Sporting, it doesn't exist, in Lisbon, so that Arteta goes. Well,
the Sporting Stadium exists. So,
yeah, well, but thanks, you saved me there. But, and this isn't a question I was asked. I was asked a question if we lost 5-1. That's not a reflection on that question at all. That's a fair question. Would I support the manager there? That's no problem.
If you lost 5-1 to what?
Yeah, I was asked if we lost 5-1, would I want Arteta out? And I think at that point, if I thought the players had lost faith in Arteta, that's probably a yes, but it's not the result itself.
Well, that was a fair question. 5-1 in Sporting, you mean?
If we'd lost 5-1 in Sporting. So that was a question I was asked. That is a fair question to ask about where I would gauge it.
It would be, but it's hypothetical, isn't it? So
exactly.
It doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. But I actually had people wanting that to happen. And there's a difference between the question, which I was asked, which I thought was fair and legitimate question, to gauge where I was at. It was a hypothetical, but it was to gauge where I was at. I thought it was a really good, fair question, and actively wanting us to lose, which I've seen various people on Twitter. I've had personal messages for it. I haven't been on a show where someone's actively wanted us to lose, but I don't understand that. I want Arsenal to win because I want us to succeed. If we don't, then the time for recriminations is afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've kind of had a few things where these people that were saying the best squad in Europe, the best squad in the world, the best squad here, there, and everywhere, are now kind of backtracking and saying the squad's not good enough, and it's a bit weird to me. But it's like, well, did you made up the whole best squad in the world, whatever, to further your agenda? So you either did it because you think Arteta's a genius and you want him to look better because he can build a great squad, or you did it to slap Arteta down because he's not winning anything with it, but he's doing it with the best squad in the world, so he's useless.
It was a set-up to failure narrative, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, my view on it is that Arsenal have one of the best squads in the world. We discussed it before. I think I might have even been with SJ that was on, who's sorted out. I'm assuming your child who will put it into sleep or so. Yes, but welcome. But what was going to say? But yeah, my view is that we've got one of the best squads in the world. The side that was put out against Southampton should have been good enough to win that game, and it underperformed. Agreed. It doesn't make the squad bad. They just underperformed, and it means that they are under pressure to play for their places. It gives an advantage to the ones that didn't play to hold their place, and you're not putting the pressure on them. They let themselves down in that game, but that doesn't make them bad players. Martinelli bounced back, I thought, really, really well with a good cameo performance off the bench in what seems to be his favourite competition. That's the reaction you want from that poor performance. But as you say, that narrative of we've got the best squad ever. Oh, look, it lost. Isn't it rubbish? It's because of the manager. No, it's when we win, it's because of the manager and the players. When we lose, it's because of the manager and the players. Sometimes it's not 50-50. Sometimes it's more on the manager, sometimes more on the players, we've discussed before, and vice versa. But, it's
a bit of both.
It's a bit of both, and it's always a bit of both, but it is a narrative agenda building. It's a bit like, and I'm sure we'll come on to discuss it, well, if he doesn't go on and win multiple trophies, or he doesn't go on and win everything next year, he's got to go. It's this.
I was getting to that purely because of the noise around today. Because it seems that you can't celebrate a win anymore. You have to have a hyperbolic, because you didn't win 5-0, because it's a crap Sporting team. I'm not quite sure how you run with that narrative. Given
they've won 23 in a row at home or something, haven't they?
It's 16 in the Champions League. They've not been beaten at home.
Yeah.
And I mean, they didn't have the worst games, but like everybody, they have, two really difficult games and kind of a lot of middle of the roads from there. So to not be beaten at home is a bit mad in 16 consecutive games. I think the last team to beat them at their place was us.
Yeah, I think it's 23 consecutive wins as well in all competitions at home.
Yeah. PSG 1 up, I think.
Oh, really?
I haven't got it up. I've got I've got a watch along on.
Yeah, Dewey scored.
Yeah. That was an unfortunate time to put a Terry's chocolate orange in my mouth. And it's very much 9, not Terry's.
I was going to say there's definitely a joke in there. Given
presumably it's the same colour as the ball that we were using in training the other week.
Well,
the live training pictures.
Well, this is the other thing. You get all the false narratives out on the timeline that basically are saying certain players are back in training, that they're going to play. I just don't understand it. But when did it become okay to just lie?
I think it's just a case of people who want to be first. It's not about being right. It's just being first. And if you keep throwing shit at the ball, something's going to stick. And people like remember the thing that stick, And once you make something stick, you go viral and you become a trusted source.
Yeah, but even with the internationals, when they got sent home from internationals, some didn't even go, and they're still classified on the same ilk as players that have pulled out. They didn't play the Southampton game, but because they played the Sporting game, even though some of them didn't play the Sporting game, I'm just lost. There's so much goalpost moving.
Well, this is the thing, Sparks. I think people lose their rag, but we're fans. We don't know what happens inside those four walls at training, in the medical room. We're none the wiser. And the fact that people are saying, "Oh, we should have started Saka, we should have started Nkapé, etc." And it turns out they weren't even fit to even, be on the bench.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the Lee Judges one, but he was going on about starting Rice.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you can't start Rice, can you? Because he got sent home.
Yeah, that team we put out wasn't more than enough to beat the Southampton team.
Yeah,
and I don't think people are realizing Southampton made 5 changes themselves in the last league game. So it wasn't their strongest 11 as such, So they rotated and we rotated, and it just on the day we just didn't show up. We didn't go over the line. And you look yesterday, we're gonna get onto the Sporting game. The 4 players up front were the same 4 players that ended the game last against Southampton, and we got a goal for them. So it's not a case of like we had a weak team against Southampton. It just didn't go our way on the day, and we got.
Have you got the link, Dom?
Yes, I can find it.
Yeah, put it in the group for us, please.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that now. What was I going to say? I think the other thing here as well is, if we hadn't rotated and went strong against Southampton, and then lost last night, do you think the same people moaning that we didn't go strong enough at Southampton then complain that we're overplaying the players? Because it's the same thing.
Of course it is. But of course they complain.
It's a change of narrative every time. It winds me up.
Yeah, I mean, I've been off. I haven't been watching. I've been reading social media past couple of days because, like you said, it's just people moving the goalposts, changing the narrative to suit their own agenda. You can see it's plain sight what they're saying and how they're doing it. And a lot of the people, they actually throw little caveats in there. We could win the league if we do win the league. It's annoying, but. I think that Southampton game. Was you there, Sparks? I don't know if you were there.
No, I didn't. I didn't go in the end because
close down to your neck of the woods. I thought you might be there.
I was going to go, but
it's not bad actually. It's actually one of the easier away journeys from a London perspective.
Just one sec. T, the link is now in the WhatsApp, so you should be good to go on there. And I can accept you in. If you're watching the live, please make sure you're liking and subscribing as well. Sharing it out as well. That'd be much appreciated also. On the whole, what did you think of the game last night? Anybody can go.
Well, I mean, what was the I would say agenda? What was the
objective?
Objective, yeah.
Objective.
I've got agenda on my agenda on the brain.
Yeah, we've all got
the objective
objectives
before the game for me was to, if we lost, not lose by more than one goal, because I thought we could always turn it around the Emirates. And yeah, that was the objective. And for me, we passed it with flying colours. I did predict a 1-0 win. I just felt.
Yeah, I did see that you started off with a 2-0, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought
you adapted it to a 1-0.
Yeah, because I thought maybe Saka and etc. went back. Because I thought 2-0 before the Southampton game. I thought we'd beat Sporting 2-0 regardless. Because I thought the players went back. But when I saw the lineup, and like you said before, you got to respect Sporting's home record. You know, they've won 23 at home. We're the last team to beat them, which was last season when they had Jokeres in their lineup. So they are formidable opponents, and we're at the quarterfinal stage of the Champions League. So to reach this stage is not an easy feat, you know. So you got to respect the opposition, and it's two-legged. I think a lot of people don't realise it's a two-legged tie. You don't have to. It's half time essentially right now. We could still, you know, lose in a second leg, which I don't think we'll do. But so there's no point. There's no point going hell for leather in the first leg, and losing by 2 or 3 goals, and then give yourself an uphill task in the second leg. So I thought we approached the game in a good manner. I thought we started a bit slow. We got in a couple of times down Ben White's side. Good save from David Raya. I do think David Raya's form was overblown. I thought he made some good saves, but I think there's saves that David Raya makes.
I kind of agree. The first one was outstanding.
Yeah.
I think the other ones he made were kind of
bread and butter. That's his bread
and butter, weren't they?
Yeah.
So he should be saving them. I think that there was one where they kind of scrambled the ball where in at his midriff, which he
had a shot. He saved it low and he kind of slightly rebounded out and they got.
Yeah, but I actually thought that should be a free kick a long time before, given the free kicks that had been given that were quite soft. Particularly on the goalkeeper, I thought that was a bit prolonged for what it should have been, but I don't think that there was anything really groundbreaking, and it was the same with their keeper. I don't think we give him that much to do. To be honest, it was a bit of a shame that Zubimendi's goal didn't count, but it was offside.
It was offside.
But no, I'm saying for the type of finish it was.
No, I agree.
It was quite disappointing that it didn't stand, but clearly it was offside.
I mean, our actual goal that counted was a good goal too, but I'd swap them over in a heartbeat just because of the quality of that Zubimendi finish.
I think that curl outside the far post is kind of reminiscent of the Rice free kick against Real Madrid. Obviously, it wasn't dead ball, but it was the same sort of scenario, you know. It was quite kind of a nice finish, and yeah, he hasn't scored for a little while as well, so it'd be quite nice to get him on the score sheet. But yeah, I think we just controlled the game, and we showed how much Rice was important in that game, because obviously we had the 2 fullbacks that were going to basically both be bombing up, which is why Rice wasn't going forwards as much, which it was like I've seen criticism of that today. Rice wasn't box crashing. We're like, well, he's not going to box crash when the 2 fullbacks are going up, when he's making the extra defender up. If you got a defender sat back, then he can go, can't he? If you haven't got another defender,
isn't it? If one fullback goes, the other stays. It's similar, right?
Well, it's the same as double pivot, isn't it?
Exactly. So you've got one staying.
One goes, one stays.
Also, you're away from home in the Champions League. As SJ said, your first objective is do not lose the game. Make sure you take it back to the Emirates. If Arsenal take that back 0-0 to the Emirates, 1-1, whatever, Sporting have a real uphill task to win that game. Their best bet was to win at home, because now
they didn't play like that, though, did they?
I thought they were sensible, because against Bodo they obviously went all out. They kind of had to. It wasn't quite as bad as that, but they went far more aggressive against Bodo than they did against us. But of course
it was more aggressive. They weren't all out. I think they could have gone more aggressive.
Exactly, which is why I sort of backtracked that slightly. But you know, they were far more aggressive. But of course they were. They were 3-0 down, and secondly, Bodo aren't as good a side as Arsenal. And And therefore, they felt that the best way to get us, and it was sensible, is invite us on a little bit, but be really aggressive on the counter and really aggressive on the counter. That's what they did. It's how they played. And it's where they got their opportunities. But equally, if you know as Arsenal, that's how Sporting are going to try and play, and that's their best chance. Because I think SJ's right. I thought Raya had a really good game, but it was slightly overblown because everyone's talking about those 4 chances or 4 saves. But Sporting didn't really offer a lot more. As you say, we were in control of the game, but you want to be in control of the game. Imagine we go there and go all out, bombing forward. We have a bad night in front of goal, create 20 chances. Real Madrid did it last night, didn't they? Create over 20 chances against Munich and lost. Imagine we do that.
Neuer just had a game of his life, didn't he?
Imagine we have that and then we lose.
Yeah.
The noise around that, this was a really sensible, this is how you win 2-legged games. And I thought it was a really professional, good, solid performance against Arsenal. Did it excite us? No, but we're not necessarily an exciting team. But you don't have to be. There's more than one way to win leagues. And if we win the league, who cares? And we still scored a load of goals, by the way. Everyone forgets that. And no one takes into account the whole thing about how opposition play, not just against us, but just generally. Football's become more boring this year.
Well, I think that it reminded me of the Chelsea second leg in the League Cup, where they were waiting for us, we were waiting for them, and it was all a bit, well, after you, sir. No, you go. No, you go. And it was like, well, we ain't moving until you move. I mean, they're not pressing us, so we're not pressing them.
Exactly. And that suited us more than them anyway. And I think we see the second leg go as well, by the way, because we've got a 1-0 lead. They've got to come out at us. And then, Martinelli, for me, has to play the second leg, not because of his 15 minutes last night, but because he's well suited to that type of football.
The problem with that is that he's suited to that because he's got all the energy and the right back's been done all the running all the game.
Yeah.
So
I think that's partly true.
That sub performance, he works so well off the bench because he's got pace to burn. I mean, last night as well, even when he came on, he was quite unpredictable, which is unlike him.
It is
normally he goes round the fullback, gets to the touchline, and he can't go. He doesn't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Or he can't get his head up or whatever.
But I think the reason I would play him there is because Sporting are going to have to come on a little bit more, and that will leave that space in behind. And he's also got the ability to come back with the fullback and do the defensive work and have the energy to get past them going the other way, which is why I think I start him there. But I don't start him if Madueke starts on the other side. It's not both. It's one or the other.
Do you not think Trossard works better when that happens as well, though? Because he seems to go a bit deeper. If that's the case, he goes deeper into the midfield role, so he ends up in the 6 to 8 kind of floating, and then shoots out to the left hand side. And I guess he's trying to leave space for Gyökeres, or he's just got drawn in somewhere, or I don't exactly know why he's there, to be honest. But it seems like he's a bit marauding.
Yeah, you could make that. You could make that argument. I think it probably somewhat depends on who the others are, but I mean, my preference would be Martinelli with Madueke coming on to be the late runner, but that assumes that Saka then starts all downwind, but Saka obviously more likely in the Champions League quarter-final still. But I think if you do it Trossard, you do it then differently with how that left-hand side operates, which can, as you say, be just as effective.
Yeah, I just think that obviously if you've got Trossard staying there and not doing the marauding role, then when the fullback goes up, he doesn't have to be pacey to get past the fullback. So fullback's not there. He's got to attack. Yeah. So but I just thought it was a really controlled performance.
I think that's the right word.
Isn't that not what it was? It was just controlled, and it was just like, well, we're okay with not scoring. We're okay with taking a 0-0. And if we take something, we take something.
I think so. It was, the 2 words would be control and professional.
Yeah, I think we just kind of just, like you said, we still stand off in the first 50, 60, 70 minutes. And I think there was a period where we kind of slightly took the handbrake off. It's like making more.
It's like 70 minutes, wasn't it? 70 minutes.
It's like making more direct passes through the lines,
yeah, yeah.
And once we started doing that, we turned it on. I think it was a bit of a shock to Sporting, like, whoa, what's going on here?
Because they did that for the first 10 minutes, really, and then kind of went, we're getting scared now, so we're going to go back.
Yeah.
And then they went back a bit more, and then back a bit more. I think there was quite a few players that spent a lot of time in their own penalty area. But I thought Ødegaard seemed to be getting in their penalty area quite a lot as well, especially later on.
Yeah, later on, I think, you've probably seen it online, in the early parts, he kept kind of doing his busy role, dropping back deep and getting the ball to defenders, touching it with the fullback, touching it with Rice and getting it back off Rice. Which, that does help because, you know what I mean, if the ball's constantly moving, the defenders are moving left to right, and that does tie him down over a period of time. But you want to see that in the final third of Ødegaard. I've seen criticisms of his Southampton performance. I actually thought he was very good against Southampton. I think he was our link player, our creative player in the final third.
He was bar down. He was the only one trying to make something happen, wasn't
he? Exactly. Yeah.
He was trying. He wasn't coming off, was it?
Yeah. I didn't understand the criticism in that game. But yeah, he's capable of doing it higher at the pitch, and I think he should do it more. Like you said, in the second half, he started getting more further up the pitch, and those kind of runs and getting up the pitch, it creates a space for likes of Havertz to get into those third man runs, and it was a massive gap. It was like a Red Sea party when Havertz got in there. I actually know Joker was still on the pitch at the time. I know he was playing well, but he was playing all right. But it was just surprising to see Havertz in that final third, just through on goal. Joker is obviously going back to his former club. I thought he held up the ball well in bits. We've got some tough defenders back there. He held the ball where possible, won us a few fouls, gets up the pitch.
He didn't have his greatest game, did he?
It's not a great game, yeah. I mean, I think he had, again, one shot on target. It was more like a P-roller. But in these type of games, you want your strikers to be busy and just.
He did have 4 players around him at the time, though.
That's it. So just try and get the ball, win us fouls, get this thing at the game, and get us at the pitch. And I think he did it a couple of times. Sometimes on the floor, didn't win the fouls, but he does for me.
My biggest problem with him is that little touch on pass that he should be playing. Just a bit of a hold up, and somebody comes on running on with it, and he just does a little layoff. Giroud used to do it quite a lot, and all our attackers have done it in the past. Just that little bit of hold up play, and
there was one instance in the first half where he actually did go into. He was in the box and he got the ball and he actually looked to actually lay it off, but there was no one there, so he went to it and try and work something else out of it. So,
and of course he did lay it off for the offside goal as well. Although I don't know what he was doing at that point.
Yeah, that was Gabriel Jesus like. It was a bit. Yeah,
he was too slow to react, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he was just walking though.
I don't think
that's what I mean.
He didn't anticipate it because, I mean, that's not a ball we often play. That ball is a very good ball to the forward, and I don't think we play it very often. And he anticipated that. It probably caught him off guard.
Do you think he thought that ball was going out to the right hand channel?
Yeah. It was very.
He must have done.
It was a disguise, very good pass. Just broke the lines and it was direct. And I just think it caught him off guard.
Yeah, it was almost like he was trying to make the defensive line drop, and he was trying to draw the defensive line back, but didn't expect to get the ball at all. That's what it looked like to me.
Well, like you said, he might have thought he was going out wide. He might try and cheat and get a couple of yards, to be in the box. But like I say, it was a very good finish from Zubimendi. Actually scared a little one. A shower, like yes, a waste of yes.
That's a waste of energy. That one.
Scared the little one. I was like, oh gosh.
I mean, just really quickly, because I think you guys have nailed it. Gyökeres obviously didn't have his best game because he didn't get much of an opportunity, but he did occupy the defenders the entire time, and I think that was starting to wear them down. And I think we saw that with Havertz's goal, really, which was he was occupying them, and they didn't have the sort of mental alertness left, and maybe physical alertness left to then go back and cover that space once they identified Havertz was the man and was in space. They couldn't recover. They didn't spot it quickly enough and couldn't physically recover quickly enough, which maybe they would have done 10, 15 minutes earlier. And I think that space really indicates sort of the differences in Havertz and Ødegaard in terms of their natural sort of play there. Odegaard, I think, as you rightly identified, was much closer to Gyökeres than he has been recently, which is what I've been calling for. And I think was more influential in the game. I think sometimes he was too conservative, but I think that was because of the lack of runners rather than because he was necessarily trying to be conservative. But equally, in these games, we were talking about control. He does bring control. I think we missed him against City for bringing that control to the game, to just calm it down, relax everyone, and keep the ball, which sometimes you need to do in games. But he was actually in the box 6 times, direct runs into the box from him 6 times. And that was either from a pass or a dribble that he's got the ball into the box directly, which is a much bigger number than he has done in recent weeks, which shows his influence on the game. But he does it in a slightly different way. From Havertz is a little bit more direct, maybe, but he was showing some signs of directness as well. And I think that's really encouraging that he felt comfortable and confident enough to do that, and that hopefully this means it's starting to come back, because he hasn't played well in the last 18 months. I think that's undeniably true. I think he has been unfairly scapegoat. But as I say, the fact that people are saying he doesn't get into the box, he's not aggressive, he doesn't look forward enough, six chance creating passes or dribbles into the box tells you that actually he wasn't conservative last night. He was attempting to make things happen and did make things happen.
We're going to add T into the thing. He got lost on the way, I think.
Yeah, I did.
quite sure how, but he got lost. Welcome in, T. How are we, sir?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, not bad. We're eating popcorn, having mental stability from all the meltdown from a win. I don't know how we have a meltdown from a win, but just finishing on that, Dom. Do you think they were trying to, that defensive line? Do you think it was trying to play offside? Because it was like he'd drawn in the defender, and then 3 other defenders kind of came up at the same time, and it was like, are they trying to play offside here? And it was like, well, the ball's already gone. I think you're right. I think there was some kind of mental fatigue going on.
I don't think he was trying to play offside. I think for that goal, I think they had been told, get close to Victor Gyökeres. He can't score tonight, and stop that ball getting into him. And I think what happened was it Liverpool that did it, where they all went to one player, and a goal was it Liverpool? I can't remember. There was a game recently where the same thing happened, and everyone went to one player, and I think that's what they did. They all went, oh yeah, we were told to get to Victor Gyökeres, and they all went without thinking about each other, and suddenly space was created. They did a clip on it, Match of the Day, and broke it down, whereby 4 players went to whoever the striker was for the team they were against, and it just created room for someone just to drift into the middle. And I think the same thing happened there. They were told to get to Victor Gyökeres. They did. What they didn't realise was that 2 of their mates had already got there, and therefore they didn't, and it left Kai on his own. And I think that's what happened. It was just that mental fatigue of remembering that instruction and not thinking about what the others were doing.
Yeah,
little breakdown in communication, and that's all it took.
Yeah,
well, it was similar at Bournemouth, right? At Bournemouth away, when who scored? Was it Odegaard or Rice? When
do you know what? I think it was the Bournemouth game. You're right.
Gyökeres on the edge of the box, and they all there was like 4 or 5
yeah,
players.
There were 4 players converged. One was trying to get to him, and then Rice just belted it in, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, where I was in the crowd, and it was like, we need to get Rice off. He looked knackered. He looked injured. He didn't look great, and then he still scored 2 goals. It was mad, absolute mad. Khalid's in the house. Evening, Khalid. How are we, sir? Thanks for joining us. And we've got Gav's highlights. Gav is a Chelsea fan. Hi, Gav. How are we doing? Are you playing tonight or tomorrow night? What did you play last night? I can't remember.
They got knocked out.
Didn't they?
I was like, hang on.
Yeah, he's a Chelsea fan, so I've got to have a little bit of a dig. You know, I've obviously got to have
I assume the question was about FIFA.
Hey,
whether they're playing tonight, tomorrow night, or.
Gav says it's very funny. See, I was very funny. There you go. I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's being serious, but there we go.
In fairness, and in all seriousness, they lost to a good Paris Saint-Germain side.
Yeah, I mean,
an awful 15 minutes in that first leg, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, to be fair, I think there was a little bit of naivety in the tactics as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also think that they come across a very good side. Barcelona and Madrid is still 0-0, by the way, after 37 minutes, which is
and the other one's still 1-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Liverpool absolutely under the cosh, though. They just Paris Saint-Germain just utterly smothering them at the moment.
Yeah. That's kind of so. I'm in one of the groups, and it basically come up as a notification, and it said, "How's the PSG Liverpool game going?" And somebody, as a Liverpool fan, went, "Shit." That's all he got. That's all she wrote. So Khalid says we're basically through. Was the best Sporting could offer. I mean, it's a bit naive to think that you know the job is done, but definitely to take a lead back to the Emirates is the best objective, best solution. I'd have been quite comfortable, even with one goal down. I think I'd been all right. But yeah, one goal up, even better. We got something to defend, something to build on. I don't think we need to defend it because they'll have to come out at some point, and we'll have to try and pick them off.
Not. And by the way, this isn't a dig at Gavs at all here, but not if Ros and I was in charge and they do the same thing. Because bizarrely, Chelsea in that semi-final didn't attack us until the last minute. It was really bizarre, that one. But I don't think Sporting will do that. I don't think Sporting, having watched that, and I'm sure they will have watched that, will fall into the same trap of, well, Arsenal will have to attack us even they're 1-0 up, which I understood. I think that's what Liam Rosner was trying to do. But the crowd will insist Arsenal go forward and will exploit it. I think Sporting will have learned from that and won't do that. So as you say, they're going to have to come
I'm
out.
not sure because they really had to come to Emirates with a win. They need to carry a win to the Emirates, really. So I don't agree. I think that they were naive. I think they tried to out Arsenal, and they come up short.
No, sorry, I'm talking about the second leg. Chelsea, I think, thought that we were going to have to that the crowd would get behind us and encourage us to go forward, and they were going to try and hit on the break. I assume that was what Liam Rosner was trying to do.
Oh, right, okay.
And I'm saying that Sporting, having watched that, won't try and do that in the second leg because they realise Arsenal won't, and therefore, as you say, they are going to have to come out.
Yeah, Arsenal don't take any notice of the crowd, mate.
No, exactly. But
they know better than that.
What I do think was important, though, because I agree. I think even had we lost last night, I'd be still confident for the second leg as long as we didn't lose by more than 2. But I think psychologically, us winning there was massive for us. It was much needed.
Yeah, and it was important as well for the away support as well when they come into Emirates as well. I think is quite important. But that's why we did the work in the league phase. I can't call it the group stage anymore because it's just one finger and another. So it's a bit odd, isn't it? What to actually call it? But
I think it is called the league phase, isn't it?
It is called the league phase, but I often don't remember that.
So group stage for 30 years or more.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I will say is that I'm so glad that the away goals rule doesn't count anymore.
Do you guys remember when it was 2 group stages way back in the 90s?
Yeah.
You played the first group stage, then you played the second group stage.
Yes, I do.
Quarterfinals.
Yeah, I still have nightmares about that. But anyway, that's best forgotten, that one, to be honest.
Yeah, that was an experiment that didn't work.
Yeah, it did. It just lasted. Was it 2 seasons?
Two. I think it was from 96 to 98. I can't remember, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it? And of course, all the rivals were basically. This is one for Gav actually. So a point for Gav. So all the rival fans wanted us to lose and this, that, and the other. We got the 5th spot for you. So you can fight over that amongst yourselves. Thankfully, we don't need it. but we put it in the league just for you. So you can scrap with Liverpool. I didn't realise. Did you guys realise how far like Chelsea and Liverpool are behind Man United at the moment?
Yeah,
it's terrible. It's terrible.
I never even realised. I haven't really been watching it, to be honest, because obviously I'm watching the relegation stuff.
You and Liverpool, Chelsea fans, they haven't been watching. They've all been watching Arsenal.
Yeah, well, it seems to, and then it seems to be doing that little bit of a drop off as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
spot on for who can get
it. I'm still not convinced that Villa will get there, but Chelsea and Liverpool also struggling for consistency, and I think Villa will probably now limp over the line. But United we talked about this before, Spots. They have a good first 11, and when they've got a week to prepare for games, it's a big advantage, which is why I think they've opened up that gap. But it'll be interesting between Chelsea and Liverpool as to which one does get fifth. Sixth is possible, though, isn't it? If Arsenal win the Champions League,
but they're seventh as well, apparently. Yeah, so they're seventh as well. So
but that requires Forest to win it, doesn't it, or Palace, or
no. Forest,
Villa in Europa League.
Europa League, because it's Forest is in Conference League, isn't it?
No, Forest are in UEFA.
Right. So Forest could win Europa as well. That could work.
Yeah.
So if Forest or Villa won it and they were outside the top spots, it adds a spot to the league. And if the Champions League winner, hopefully us, aren't in there as well, then it goes into the league, I think. So it's like, I think it's only if Liverpool win it.
Yeah, I think Liverpool, yeah.
And Villa win the conference, the Europa League. So you can't be in the positions.
Yeah.
You have to be outside the positions to get the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Khalid says, stop by beating City, Gav. Yes, please.
Yeah.
They don't even need to beat City. Just
Could you return the fifth place favour by beating City on Sunday?
Yeah. So Gav says, let's all pray for you to win the UCL for the sixth spot. That it doesn't work for us. It only works if Liverpool win it. So you've got to be outside the spots.
Oh, interesting. Khalid saying Barca red card.
And Atletico Madrid have scored.
Apparently a belter from Alvarez.
Yeah, I've just seen it. Yeah, it is stuttering a bit, so I'm waiting for it to catch up.
Whoa, that's
a free kick as well.
I couldn't have the game
free kick, set piece FC, need to set piece king.
He's settling in for next season already.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a bit of a coup if we can get him. To be honest, I'd be well up for it. But yeah, back to what Gav's point. It's if Liverpool win the Champions League, obviously they get an extra spot. I'll tell you what, that's very similar to Rice's free kick.
Wow, which one?
Well, I mean, the only thing is really it's under the crossbar and not by the post. That's the only difference. So it's basically wrapped around the wall and gone under the bar rather than wrapped around the wall and gone by the post.
Would you? I mean, assuming we got through, would you rather face Barca or Atletico?
Honestly, at this point, I
think I'll personally prefer Atletico.
I think I probably would as well. Can you imagine though? Can you imagine? Because all the crap that was gone on with rigging draws and doing whatever easiest routes and all this stuff. Can you imagine if they're not Barca out and we get Atletico Madrid? The tears that's going to cause. The absolute tears. We don't have to worry about a water shortage for years. Seriously, it'd be absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Khalid says you would take us to winning the Champions League to get the sixth spot. Yeah, he would if it worked that way, but it doesn't, fortunately. And Barca red card, yes. And and they scored from the resulting free kick. Would you say Bayern are favourites for the UCL? I'd probably say yes, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think they are. I think the Bayern Munich team we played early in the season, they had a few players missing. And I think on that day we were scintillating. We don't play that same way right now. I think I've said before, I think we started the season playing in a different manner, high press, getting after teams very early on, just suffocating teams essentially. They'll clear it. One of our big centre backs will win the ball back, recycle it, and we go again. We've come away from that now. And so I think our current way that we play, if we got through to play Bayern Munich, I don't think we'd beat them. In my opinion, I don't think we'd beat them.
Not even in a one-off game, though.
No, I just think their forward line is a bit too much at this moment.
I think I'd be more worried over 2 legs than a single game.
I mean, obviously, we can't face into the final. Over 2 legs, I would not be confident about beating Bayern Munich. For me, they're still the best team in Europe. Ironically, I got stick on saying that the other day. I was like, well, you're supposed to be an Arsenal fan. I was like, I'm the only one supporting the team on this entire stream, not this one. And you're now having to go at me because I said Bayern Munich about anyway.
Mind blown.
Yeah. I think they are the best team. And I think, it helps that the league it was fewer games. There isn't the League Cup. And I think slightly less intensity. I think all of that helps them in Europe. And over 2 legs, I think they would beat us, despite the fact we beat them at Emirates. And as SJ said, I thought we were scintillating that night. It's a really good word to describe it. You'd have to repeat that performance twice. I think, equally Bayern would also have to be very good to beat us. But in a one-off game, I am far more comfortable.
When everything's done, by the way, everything's done. That's
exactly
all you've got to play for.
Exactly.
There's no FA Cup final. There's no, the league's obviously done.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So, the other thing is, as well, I'd also be more confident if we've won the Premier League than haven't won the Premier League. I think if we got to the final, and it's a big if, there's 3 games to go before we get there, right? But if we got to the final, if we played Bayern Munich, if we hadn't won the league, I'd be really, really concerned about that game. You've always got to be concerned because of the quality of Bayern anyway. But the pressure on us, I think, would actually be crippling. I think the pressure being released, and we talked about this with the Carabao Cup final, actually probably helps relax us a little bit more.
I still think that would have relaxed us a little bit, and I think a little bit of pressure was added because we didn't win it. But yeah, I think if the league's done. Well, it is after the last game of the season anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
The final.
I've just seen that red card, by the way. How was he not given that in real time?
I've got no idea, because it's Barcelona, probably. It was shocking, man.
Imagine there wasn't any VR and the referee just said a yellow card. And that was that.
How did the Aruhu or whatever his plumbing name is? How the hell did he not get a yellow card last night?
Rumor has it he has pictures that he didn't want released.
I think 7 or 8 fouls. He committed 7 or 8 fouls. I think you get booked after the 5th one. I mean, you should get booked after the 5th one.
He hugged Dowman when Dowman came on. He was hugging him and he gave a free kick for him. I was like, what? How does that work? I don't really understand. The guy's bloody, 5 foot, and he's wrapped round him and literally giving him a bear hug, and he's giving him a free kick somehow. I don't really understand that, to be honest. But he was in everything, that guy, wasn't he? Absolutely,
unbelievable.
Everything, attacking and defensive. He was on everything. Just mad. But did you see the one with Suarez when it came up that he'd got booked, but he hadn't got booked?
Yeah, that was interesting. Because I don't know how they even got that, where they got it from. Because usually there's one camera out of 475 cameras in the stadium that sees it. Yeah, but none picked it up, and then it seemed was it a mistake? It was a mistake, wasn't it? He hadn't actually been booked.
It was just a mistake. There was nobody booked at all, and it was a free kick their way, I think. So I don't know what was got him down as being booked.
No, I think it came after that. What was a Hitachi guy? I think he got booked. So I think it came quickly after that.
that scissor tackle, and he's basically going, "Well, I never touched you," and he's basically in his face going, "What are you doing?"
It was a scissor tackle, but I think it was his trailing leg. I don't think his lead leg did much damage. If anything, I think it wasn't very dangerous. It was more so the following leg.
His leg, so he can't move.
Yeah,
he slid in.
He slid in.
He got the ball. Yeah, he slid in, got the ball. But then he kind of went in, and then his legs went higher, and then went closer together and trapped his leg. So I mean, I don't really know.
I agree. Modern day, it's a foul, but I just think that can't just get up. It's That's just my pet gripe about footballers and tackles, and
I thought it was a nailed on yellow card, to be honest with you, especially in today's football.
I agree. In today's, definitely.
I was a centre back, and I'd expect a yellow card for that all day long. Absolutely. Yeah.
How do you think? Sorry, how do you think that Suarez played? Because obviously he's Jokeriz's replacement. He's got a backload of goals in the league. Personally, I thought he started well in terms of his hold-up play. I think obviously he won a foul against Saliba, which I don't actually think was a foul because Saliba got his leg around him and just nicked the ball away from him. Yeah. But he had some good layoffs that set off their attacks. So I think it's probably got to the point that we're saying it was a bit of a standoff on both teams. You go or we go. Or we stand off, and so I think his performance.
I think he peaked early, didn't he? He peaked early, and then you didn't really see him. You saw everything from the left back the whole game.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of left back, I think their left back played well. So if we touch on that, I think their left back was actually pretty decent in terms of the way he was attacking. He probably had the most attacking outlet.
But like I said, he was involved in everything. So defensively, he was involved with everything, and attacking-wise, he was involved with everything as well. And the only real time I remember seeing Suarez was when he got booked, but didn't get booked.
Just on that left back in defence for Ben White, that first ball that was like the foot. That was
what a ball that is!
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a decent ball. Yeah, for sure.
You struggle to defend that on a good day, So it was a ridiculous ball. Followed by a great save by Raya. I think there's one after.
I thought I was winning. When I saw that pass, I was like, nah, 1-0. We're down 1-0. I didn't even, you will miss it if you didn't check the replay because it just looked like the shot went straight off.
Yeah, for sure. It was fingertips, wasn't it?
It was just, and it actually worked. It wasn't just like it wasn't like the fingertip just shot the ball. It actually deflected the ball, but the shot was so powerful that you won't see it in real time. I had already 1-0. That's it again. The pass was fantastic. I mean, I really wouldn't fault the defender. I mean, yes, could he have done better? Maybe, but nobody probably didn't expect that pass to come from a centre back because that was from their centre back.
I'm a big fan of Diomande. I wanted him in the summer. I'm not comparing him at all because we've got Mosquera and Hincapié, so no complaints at all. But I mean, I think he's a really talented player. He's big, he's strong, powerful. He can play a pass.
That clearance he did from the corner as well. That was ridiculous. Because how the hell did he even get up to it? And he got in front of the crowd. Well, he got through the middle of the crowd, really, and then just belted it into the ground. I mean, could have gone anywhere. But then there was a clearance from White that could have gone anywhere as well. I thought was a bit dodgy. I was like, he, especially off his shin, didn't need to be seeing that. Like, hook it out somewhere. But he shinned it. But I rate that Diomande. I really do.
I do too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very, very, very happy with Mosquera. But Diomande was the one I wanted to see come in the summer.
But if we got an opportunity to get him, you get him then.
It depends on whether you want to move Mosquera out to be the Ben White replacement, right? Or do you move Miles Lewis-Skelly into midfield and he comes in and Mosquera becomes a left centre back up? I just don't quite see how it fits with his quality. I think, people going to get him this summer. I think he has better options to go to and start. If I'm Liverpool, I'm looking at him 100%. If I'm Chelsea, I'm looking at him, albeit I think Chelsea need a more experienced centre back because I think they've got some decent youngsters. But if Diomande is your right sided centre back and you play him with Colwell as your left sided, yes, they're young, but that's a centre half pairing that can grow into, something quite special. if they fulfill the potential I think they've got. But I think there are better options for him because he comes in knowing full well he's the backup to Saliba. Plus, you have to then do something else with the others. So I don't think it's necessarily the right option for Arsenal this summer, but he's a quality player.
But that's purely because we got Mascara, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. Unless you move Mascara to right back, or you shuffle Mascara to the backup for Gabriel, and Diamande becomes a backup to Saliba.
Right, we're going to do this, and I was questioning whether I was going to do it or not, but we're going to do it just because there's Gav's in the chat, and he put the question. So he's put, not a dig at Arsenal here, just a question for you all. Do you agree with other Arsenal fans that if Arteta doesn't win a trophy this season, it is time for him to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I completely agree. I was waiting for everybody else to answer first.
This is not a dig. Like, I'm not saying. I'm sure you all will agree. I'm not saying Arteta is a bad manager or he's not good at his job. But the thing is, it's beyond that now. If he doesn't win any title this season, it's like he's never going to get us across the line. If it happens this season that he doesn't win any title, because he's been there for the past 3-4 seasons. He's been second 3 times in a row. He's not been able to get us past the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. He's been knocking at so many doors but unable to open it. So it just feels like there's something about him managing this team that won't get us over the line. I mean, personally, I think he also wants to win, because if he doesn't win it this season, he probably knows that there might be calls for him to leave. So it's not like like I said, it's not like he's a bad manager. He's actually excellent. He's done very well for Arsenal, but just that final step to get us over the hump, that's where the problem is. And I think that might be the only reason that he'll be let go if he doesn't win the league this season. And I actually believe he's going to win the league anyway. But
I think it's easier than that, because I think the position that he's in the Premier League, it's kind of the main one, the ultimate one that you can say this is an ultimate bottling.
Yeah.
This is ultimate arse fell out, complete, capitulation. You gave up because we only need 4 wins.
Yeah.
We only need 4 wins to win the league.
I agree entirely. I hate the bottle job narrative. I think it's massively overdone. But I think in this scenario from here, it is that. It is an apt one. I don't think either of the last 2 title capitulations were bottle jobs. People like to say, I don't agree, including our own fan base. But I think the thing here is, I think T's absolutely right. I think he's done a marvellous job, a really good job. People forget how bad we were. People say, well, you wanted Emery gone. Yes, I wanted Emery gone because the team was going nowhere. It was going backwards. There was no control, no discipline, no culture, no tactical identity. Players and fans weren't behind him. Generally speaking, Mikel Arteta has changed that. Yes, he's had money, but it takes money. And by the way, we haven't spent anywhere near the most. A lot of other clubs have spent more than us, and we're starting from stronger bases than us. And that's reflected in that some of them have won more trophies than us. But, I think we've now built ourselves to a position where we could, in theory, go on. So if you then lose it from here, I think you risk unraveling that. And I think you have to then say, Mikel, thanks for everything you've done, but we've got to go, particularly as the manager market's going to be really, really strong this year. But I do think, and this is being reported, that Arsenal started contract discussions with Mikel Arteta. I think that's a really sensible thing to do, because actually you're tying him down in the event he does win things ahead of the summer. You've got stability. You can be talking to players. They know who the manager's going to be, what the plan is, and you can go and instigate that. Equally, you don't sign it until the end of the season, because you can get all that done, because that gives you the option to get rid of him at that point if things go wrong. I don't think they will. I think we will win the league, but we could win the Champions League. That's definitely less certain. I mean, it's not 100% guaranteed we win the league, but I think we will. But I think that's where Arsenal are.
Yeah, even still, I think even if we make the semi-final again, and win the Premier League, that's obviously fine for me. I think anybody that says it has to be a double, it has to be this, it has to be that, has to be the other.
It's moving the goalposts, isn't it?
I think it's.
Although there is a caveat, there is a scenario where he may get one more season, even if he doesn't win anything. It's good. It's a reach. I'm reaching here, because like Don said, if he loses the league from this position, it's a massive bottle job. But peep this. Okay, God forbid he doesn't win the league. Maybe he loses the league on the last day, but he gets to the Champions League finals and loses to Bayern Munich. I mean, nobody will fault him if he loses to Bayern Munich in the finals. I mean, it's the finals.
They will if he loses the league, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's a long reach. But
I get what you're saying, again, but
it's a reach. But I mean, you'd be like, there's progress. Quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals in the Champions League. That means there's progress. But then again, I'm sure the fans will probably be done with Arteta by then. But with the board, would they be willing to give him 1 more year?
I think in that scenario, almost any scenario, actually, I think the board probably keep him. Anyway, I think that likely. I think the most likely scenario for Arteta going in the event we don't win the trophy is Arteta going.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's good. I've done as far as much as I can. I think that more likely. I also think the board would let him resign and go, look, we're thinking about replacing you, but for all you've done, do you want to resign and you can still have your money? I think there's enough respect there that would be a scenario as well that might happen. But he won't be sacked.
You know, his case might be the case of Moses leading the Israelites to the Promised Land after doing all the work. He didn't get them there. So
I mean,
in fairness, I think Moses plays against Liverpool's defence most week because have you seen the way their defence parts?
One pass straight through the middle.
Yeah, it's like the Red Sea.
It's a shame that we couldn't part that. But there you go.
They played very differently against us twice. I actually think their best performance this season, and I know a good number of Liverpool fans, and
both of them.
They say if we played like that more often, we'd be up in contention for winning the league.
Everybody says that against Arsenal. Manchester United fans have the same feeling.
Yeah.
Both games.
Yeah. But then they won 4 games in a row and they were winning the league. But anyway, sorry, SJ, you go past your 2 pence with that.
No. I echo everything it says. Look, if we don't win it, win nothing. Yeah, Arteta's to go. But he's not going out with a Game of Thrones shame down the lane. He's raised our floor, and we thank him for that. He's come in, like Dom said. Emery, I think it's very harsh on Emery because I think he came at a difficult time. It's always going to be hard to succeed.
It was like Moyes at United, right?
Yeah.
I agree and disagree with that. Well, I'll tell you.
I agree. It's somewhat an impossible job. I mean, I know Slot came in and won the league after Klopp, but I think different scenarios. The team that was left behind.
I think it was a different team, completely different.
Yeah, completely different team to pick up.
Three world-class players for a start.
Yeah, I agree. I just think Emery had a difficult task. And it didn't work out, which is fine. Arteta came in, steadied the ship, and like I say, he's raised our floor. He's given us newfound. The reason why there's this kind of is anger and sort of divisiveness in the Arsenal camp is because he's given us hope. He's raised our floor, and we now see the light. We see the promised land, and that's given us. We didn't have these arguments back in 2014, 15. We just said, "Oh, can we get top 4?"
Just throwing tickets away.
Yeah, we can't get top 4. So
meltdown upon meltdown on AFTV. Everybody troops
every day. Fights on the terraces.
You can pick up a ticket on the day. Generally, you can literally pick up a ticket. You can launch a ticket on exchange.
I went to games with like 3 spare tickets in my pocket at the time.
Honestly, the same. So
couldn't give them away.
If it doesn't work out for him, he leaves. Yeah, he can leave his head held high. Where he goes next will be very interesting. Because like Dom said, he's been given money here, but like I said, to succeed in football, you need money these days, so it can't be thrown at him.
I think you always have, to be honest.
I think a lot of clubs have blinkers onto the money that their club spends. We're not the biggest spenders. We spend a lot, but everyone else does, and that's
this is like you were saying there. That's just what Gav was saying. It's Chelsea. We spent nearly 2 billion and worse somehow. You're worse than Man United.
Money laundering.
You're worse than Man United, man.
What I would say, in all seriousness, though, and I'd be interested in Gav's view on this. I think they're worse than Man United right now, but equally, I don't think Manchester United will sustain this next season when they got to play 3 times a week. Not. But I do think Manchester United are starting to do some sensible things. Chelsea, I think the big issue here is that to keep within the PSR rules, and God knows with that loss last year how the hell you're going to do it, by the way, but to keep within those rules, you're having to sell and replace, which means there's such large turnover in the squad, but you're also buying players that aren't really of the right level. If you look at the Arsenal squad, you've got, generally speaking, in say 7-8 positions, here's my starter and the backup is clear, but the gap isn't massive. What you've got at Chelsea is you've got the starting level is somewhere in between with the replacement in between. No one knows who's starting. No one, they keep rotating them around to keep everyone happy because everyone's expecting minutes. And there's no real kind of idea on expectations around the minutes. And therefore it's too disjointed, too many changes. And the quality of that first team isn't quite there.
But there's no gelling process. There's nobody getting familiar with each other because they're constantly on the rotation. But equally, because they're on the rotation, they can't earn their spot. So they go, well, why bother? Because I'm just.
It almost doesn't matter whether I play well or not, right?
Yeah, if I play well, I could get a game. I might not. So I just take my money. It's a lottery whether they get put on the field or not. So it's mad. We buy youngest, not experienced players, and it has to change. It has to change to sustain. I mean, very similar to what we used to be fair. Very similar. Just try and make youth players work because it's the cheapest way to do it. And all right, you make some money out of flipping some players, and whether you flip them to your own club as well, your second club, the B club. It is another question mark, but it's very similar to what we used to operate, but just with bigger numbers. Really, it's a bit crazy, to be honest. But we feel your pain. We've been there, but I mean, I'd like to say I was sad to see it happening, but I'm not, to be honest. We get so much crap from Chelsea fans; it's untrue, and. Yeah, I mean, I think your fan base is going the same way as ours is going as well, where it's so polar opposite. Some people are blue go in, and some people are standards FC. Others just have standards for everybody else, but not for themselves. So it's a bit weird. But I think,
of course, standards FC are what's going to win us the league. Nothing else. It's just going to be them.
But that's the point, because it's like. They're digging everybody out, and we haven't beaten Arsenal in 5 years as well. But this is the other thing, because when Arteta came in against the top sides, we were useless.
Oh, you might as well save the petrol money and just give them the points.
Absolutely useless. We literally never got turned up. We're getting battered 4-0, 5-0, 4-1, 6-0. Didn't you do us in that time as well? Yeah, it was just constant, but that's what.
And not just against Chelsea.
Yeah, but no, Liverpool was a big one. City done us heavily. I think Tottenham did us a couple of times in that period as well.
We used to beat Tottenham home and lose away. That pretty much happened.
Yeah,
but it was Van der Vaart there. They beat us a couple of times.
Oh, he was an annoyingly good player.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That game was annoying. It was at the Emirates. We were up by 2.
Yeah.
And we lost 3-2.
Is that the one where he scored with his arm?
I can't remember, but the defender, the black, I can't remember the black defender back then. He scored the winner in like the 70th or 80th minute thereabout. It was painful. We were up by 2. This was a long time ago. But it was just painful.
Last time we beat you was when we bought Lukaku, when Lukaku scored on his debut after he signed from Inter for 95 million.
Yeah, 3-0, I think, that game.
Pablo Mari special, yeah.
Yeah, I
mean, he got run over that day.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, I think that was his reckoning day, wasn't it? It's like the writing on the wall for the defender there. But yeah. I mean, I feel for you as a fan, to be honest with you.
We've been there.
We have been there, and realistically speaking, we're still not out of the woods yet. We need to get to the end of the season, and we need to lift a trophy to really get out of it. But unless they actually start investing in some top talent and not young talent, experienced talent, I don't see you getting out of it. And you could be dropping further down.
I think what's worrying for them as well is their best players are starting to get really, Enzo.
They're getting antsy, aren't they?
Over. Yeah, they're looking to get out.
Yeah. And it might be too late as well. Even if they've signed decent players.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Big problem as well is with the wages they're on. If they're really looking to get out as well, Chelsea may be struggling to get good value for them.
Yes, the wages, the length of the contracts, and what they paid 100 million for Enzo. These owners are not in the business of making losses. That's not their.
Well, the thing is that they're on big contracts. They're on long contracts. He wants more money.
Yeah.
For he wants to get paid what he's worth, but he's on a, what they call a death row contract.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well,
in theory, that protects Chelsea and makes it harder for them to sell. But the problem is,
not if he doesn't want to play for them.
Exactly. And therefore, with the value that, with the wages he's on, the fact he doesn't want to be there, and as SJ says, the money that Chelsea will want to recoup the money they paid,
it's not going anywhere.
Likely.
Yeah. So it's not like Arsenal where they literally just went, well, you don't want to be here anymore, off your trot. Yeah, I mean, granted, the 100 million isn't what's owed, right? Because the book value is whatever the book value is now. So they've paid some off, right?
They're paying off over 8 years, aren't they? Because that was before the rules changed, or however
long
it was he got.
Yeah, so they amortize it for 8 years, but.
Oh, we haven't forgotten, Gavs. Don't worry. We remember you beat us to Madrid, and thank goodness for that.
Yeah, we're working to that. We'll work to that, Gav. But yeah, what change in our ownership to make us starting spending? Because for me,
desire to win, wasn't it?
Well, I'm not sure. I think it was kind of a lot of things. I think that they kind of decided once they hit 100% ownership, I think that was a factor.
Yeah.
They started then clearing out staff members, and the staff members kind of took over a little bit, but we still run by lawyers. But I think the main turning point was Josh basically taking the helm and basically going, we can make something happen here. And I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but that's the only thing I can put it down to, really.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of the owners. I mean, yeah, Josh getting more involved. I think when you're in America, obviously football's not as big there. They're much bigger American sports. But to come here and actually be at sea level, because he started coming to more games. You ain't got absent owners like the old United lot. But to come here, and I mean, you saw the documentary. I mean, that documentary did a lot for the club. I think in terms of fan base, it gave us more of an insight as to how the club's running, the actual relationship between Kroenke and Arteta, and how it was building at the time. I actually have a sneaky feeling. Hopefully, they're doing a documentary now behind the scenes, just not telling us, and they'll release it after if we're in the league. It could happen. You never know. They've been recording it for the last 4 years.
Definitely.
And then the last.
We win the league after 22 years. The documentary is dropping. Definitely.
Yeah.
All or everything.
All or nothing part 2. Volume 2.
The revival.
I think all of those things are right, but I also think it was this thing of two things as well. Two other factors. One, all of the other franchises have won and been successful bar Colorado, and I think he wanted to do that. But also, I think it was a recognition that there was a lot of money in football, and actually, if you can invest in Arsenal and make them successful, that massively increases the value of the club, and therefore I think that was also a factor, because I think they do want to run it sustainably. They do want to make a profit out of it, and I think that's absolutely fine for owners to do that, as long as it's not at the expense of the fans and or winning. And I think they've got the right balance. But I think those two factors were also crucial, in addition to the ones you guys have mentioned.
You know the one thing that will push the actual share price through the roof for a club like Arsenal
Will that save us money with renovations to the stadium if it goes through the roof? Okay.
But yeah, winning the Champions League, I think it puts it on a different stature altogether. And to be honest with you, I think winning it once is the major thing. I don't think repeating it is as illustrious as people make it out it is. Look at Man City, right? So Man City won the Champions League, and nobody questioned the size of their club again, apart from when they can't fill seats. But but that's not the club. That's the fan base. That's a different thing altogether. But so I think I agree with you that obviously all their franchises have won stuff. So I think that they've kind of realised that winning actually makes them money, not just on the thing, but on the franchise itself, because we will be seen as a franchise now in their eyes, because obviously that's the American thing, isn't it? But I think if you can get it over the line and get the Champions League and get the European kind of recognition, because nobody recognises us European contenders in anything, even though we have won 2 European trophies, but nobody really recognises them because they're not the big ones. But I think for the book price, I think that's massive, absolutely massive for the sponsorships, for everything else. But that's just my take. But there we go.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Gav says Ryan thought it was due to the Super League backlash. I mean, I think that was. I don't think that's really changed the philosophy as such. Maybe they thought the philosophy was going to carry on through the Super League, so they were going to go for that instead. But then just carried it on. I don't really know, but I can't see it being related to that, to be honest. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I'd agree with you. I don't think it had too much of an impact. I'm so glad we didn't join the Super League. I'd have genuinely been torn about what my Arsenal future would look like. You know, it's a man and boy sort of thing. But I would have genuinely found it very hard to support Arsenal in the Super League because I was that anti the Super League. I really was. And, you know, that's a horrible thing to say for a club I've supported since I was about 6-7 years of age. You know, 34, 35 years. You know, but that would have been really hard. So I'm glad we didn't, but I'm not sure it was a factor. Maybe it was a little bit of a factor in terms of the amount he was present, but he was starting to be present anyway. We're starting to see the move towards Josh Kroenke. Maybe it was a factor in a little bit of spending that summer just to sort of appease the fans. But I still think it was still a calculate. I don't think you go from where we were to where we are. And obviously we've got to get over the line without a solid plan that was already in place. And I think we were starting to put the foundation for that place even then.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. There must have been some kind of plan in place. Especially kind of following on from Wenger years where he was kind of hung out to dry, not supported by the board at all, and they must have seen that, and not wanted to follow suit, and rightly so. But then there was a bit of unrest and kind of, like I said, infighting on the terraces at the time. So maybe that pushed a lot on it as well. But I mean, I guess we'll never know until somebody writes a book about it, right? Which is bound to happen at some point. Don't forget, we also paid 100 million for Mudryk. Yes. Isn't he banned from driving, banned from football, banned from blooming everything? And it's a bit mad. That guy's gone completely haywire.
He's not got his ban yet, has he? But he's obviously failed the drugs test. But I'm not sure if he's had the official ban come through yet. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the drug test for drug driving?
No, performance enhancing.
No. Doping.
Doping.
Yeah, but he's had that.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah, because that's how he got banned.
Yeah, I thought he was just on sort of a ban while they investigated it, but they actually, I wasn't following it closely enough to.
They started.
He's on a football ban.
They started with 2 years, I think, and then he went to 4 years when they actually proved it.
Fair enough. I was going to say I hadn't been following it closely enough simply because I was like, well, he's done, isn't he?
Yeah, and he'll still be in contract when he's out of it. Mad.
Presumably Chelsea aren't paying his wages though now. I mean,
yeah,
I'd be mad if they are. Gross misconduct. Surely you just sack him, can't you?
Can't sack him. He's under a contract.
Yeah, but I mean, surely there's a gross misconduct
breach of contract clause.
Surely.
There's not a thing that I don't think they can. They can't terminate the contract whilst he's employed by them.
Well, no, but this is what I'm saying. If I go and punch a colleague or something daft, I'm losing my job, right? Surely, I mean, Chelsea must have put some kind of clause in for that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think didn't Adrian Mutu get done for that many years back?
Yeah.
The drugs, cocaine. I think he got sacked.
Yeah, that was Chelsea as well.
There you go. Yeah, Gav just said it as well.
Gav said I think we sacked him like we did with Mutu back in the day. What was Mutu done for?
I think it was cocaine.
Cocaine. His was recreational.
I had suspicions that Rosicky was on that,
I always heard the rumors of Rosicky, Jack Wilshere's in rehab after he was injured.
No, Wilshere wasn't. He was just and I didn't mean to do what I said. He wasn't doing that. That was bad timing. I just had an itch on my nose. But yeah, it was bad timing on my part. But yeah.
Good job you weren't at Anfield and doing a Robbie Fowler.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know. He didn't get a ban for that, to be honest. But 2-0 PSG.
Oh, that's tie over.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, but PSG are at home.
That's game over.
No, PSG are at home, so
Yeah, but Liverpool, not Liverpool. No. They've given up on the manager, I think. They've given up on
they have, but I mean, it's whether the crowd have given up as well, isn't it? If the crowd have given up at Anfield, then that's
then they really are in trouble. They really are in trouble, and that's not. If Liverpool can bring it back at 2-0, Paris Saint-Germain are big favourites, but it's not over.
Yeah,
but Liverpool concede a third. I could see him going and losing his 3 or 4, and I think even at 3, it's over.
I'm watching a watch along for you watch Don Hussam?
Oh yeah, I've seen clips of him. But...
Yeah, he's now on it. He's doing all sorts of guru to get Slot out. It's quite funny, but there we go.
But it's PSG. Even if they were on form, it's PSG, one of the best in Europe. They were always going to lose.
I still think that they've been weakened where they shouldn't have been weakened. I don't think they should have let Donnarumma go.
No, I don't either.
I think it's madness to let him go, but yeah, I kind of want PSG to win the Champions League again, and then Kvaratskhelia doesn't want to stay, and he's done everything in League and off he pops to the Premier League.
Fingers crossed, that would be nice for us. But I'd rather it was because we won the Champions League and he wants to see if he can go and do it with us than Paris Saint-Germain won it. But
well, yeah, I get that as well.
I take winning the Champions League and not getting Kvaratskhelia over the other way around, to be honest.
Yeah, I know we said it earlier on that Arteta doesn't have to win a double to keep in a job. It doesn't mean that I'd object to it.
No, absolutely not.
I'm not with a delusion saying it's a guaranteed that we're going to get we're going to win a double or anything like that. But yeah, it's something I'd encourage, even though I don't think it's necessary. Do you do Arsenal watch-alongs? If so, I could add you to my vids if you wanted. What do you do? You do the clips. You do the fan channel, do you? I don't do watch-alongs as such. I've thought about doing it. I don't think anybody wants to see me watch Arsenal. I don't think. Yeah. I don't think anybody. I don't think I want anybody to see me watching Arsenal.
If you were monetized, you'd be demonetized very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I just get very sore throats and start growling at things. For instance, you know when the equalizer went in, when we were playing Wolves. I had the remote in my hand. I got brand new TV downstairs, and I nearly threw it at the TV. I didn't throw it. I didn't throw it. I resisted the urge, but I was very bloody close.
It took a lot of willpower.
It took a lot of inner strength.
That was gut wrenching. As the moment when I just turned off the TV. I just turned off the TV. I didn't even watch the replay. I didn't watch anything. I just switched everything off.
Did you turn it off?
That was just it. I just switched everything off. Everything.
Wait, is there a pen now?
Penalty to PSG is penalty to PSG.
That's tight over.
Oh, did I?
What? That's a red card. That's a red card. Yeah, SG. I think it was going on. That's a red card.
Yeah.
Oh, did he say it was going?
Yeah, he said it was going. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yellow. Is that a yellow card? If this goes in, that's a tie over, man.
Yeah, they're gonna. This could get bad quick.
VAR.
Yeah,
it's a red card. If it's a red card, sorry, unless he touched the ball, it's a goal scoring opportunity. I think he did get the ball, but he went through the man. I think. Nah, he got the ball actually.
Well, if you've got a minor touch on there, he's not going to red then.
Yeah, but he did get the ball. He did get the blocking. So yeah, he's going to check the VAR. I think it's not a penalty.
No penalty. It's already done. No penalty. No, it's already done.
Yeah,
the penalty's been overturned.
Exactly. Yeah, because it was a good tackle.
This chat's going nuts. So no pen.
No pen.
I think had that been a red card and a pen, even if it was just a pen, I think that's Liverpool collapsing. Yeah, I really do.
So somebody on this group chat just went, LFC, you lucky motherfuckers. Khalid says it's good tackle.
Yeah.
Let's look at the Bournemouth game quickly before we got to get out of here. But what do you expect for the weekend? Potentially Saka's back and Timber's back. What we're thinking?
I mean, this is again a really crucial game for Arsenal, isn't it? This is a chance to go 12 points clear, massive scoreboard pressure. I think the pressure and expectations going into this game will be huge, and it will be on every game between now and the end of the season. I would expect both of them maybe back. I would do one. I think if one of them starts, I think it'll be probably Saka, and I actually think I would start Ben White. Depending on the medical assessment on him for this one. And the reason being, because I think Bournemouth will again attack a little bit as they did at the Vitality. And I think White's ability to overlap and get high could be really, really crucial at helping sort of hurt them on the break there. But Arsenal have got to, get in. It's either 2-0 Atletico, as the chat says, or you're making a peace sign at me. But this is a big one, and I think Arsenal will win that. And I think Arsenal got to go strong for that. I think because if you've got, let's just use Saka as an example, but this applies to any player. If you're thinking he can start one game and not the other, I think you start them in the Bournemouth game because you've got the advantage in the Sporting game for midweek.
That's a finish. That's a finish Gyökeres needs to score more of.
I've not seen it.
He literally just swipes his left leg around the defender. Is it Soldado? What's his name?
Sorloth,
that's it. I knew it was something like that.
And it's against the run of play as well. Barcelona have been dominating the second half.
Well, yeah, but they've just been sat back, haven't they?
Yeah.
They were going to get caught. They're going to play high line.
And that's the problem with this high line, isn't it?
The thing is, they haven't got good enough defenders. Yeah, Khalid says so. But yeah, you just come up on the screen as well. But yeah, they don't have good enough defenders to play that line really.
No.
It's all right in the Liga.
Yeah. Maybe they could hire Ange as their next manager.
Well, this is the thing that I've seen the debate going around with Flick and Arteta, and hands down right now, Flick is obviously a better manager because he's won stuff with varying clubs. But if he'd come to the Premier League and played at that high line, he'd end up going exactly the same way as Ange.
Yeah,
he'll be battling relegation, man.
It's just ridiculous.
And it's also be similarities between Slot this season and last season, right? The change in style will be so big that you wonder how you make that work.
Yeah, but also I watched another stream earlier on, and the guy basically said that you're going to lose 4 or 5 games, but the other games you're just gonna trounce the opponents. Yeah, well, yeah, provided your strikers are clinical enough that they're going to score every opportunity. For every opportunity you give up the other end.
Yeah.
So it's not in question. It just can't happen. He can't play that in the Premier League. Just can't. And just proved it. Proved it. And it's like, yeah, it's whether you can adapt to it or you're gonna be. It's who we are, mate.
Yeah. Not even Klopp at his pomp played that kind of kamikaze high line and attacking football by throwing everyone forward. Pep has never done it. There's always been a slight pragmatism to the side. They can dominate, they can be aggressive, and they can be all out attack, but with some level of control. And Flick just doesn't necessarily have that. And I think it's why he might have been found out tonight. And I think it's why he, as you say, would be found out in the Premier League if he didn't adapt.
So Gav says here, I've been more worried about Atletico with Simeone than Barca in the semi-final. What about you?
I mean, I think we can beat both. Obviously, we beat Atletico comfortably in the group phase. I think it would be a tighter game if we got them, assuming we got through. But Barcelona don't worry me because I think defensively we are a really, really good team, and he will, as we just talked about, play with that high line. And we've seen when teams have done that against us. Once we get out and we've got the ability to go long, so I think we'd have to stop playing out from the back and go long more and more quickly. But with Gyökeres or Martinelli, I think we could really, really hurt them. I think Barcelona's style, we are their kryptonite, as Atletico are finding out tonight. And they're not as good defensively as they used to be, but they really struggle against that. I've always been a believer in certain teams. The way they play are a real struggle for certain teams. It's why Tottenham, for all their struggles, seem to do well against Manchester City. Man City are a better side. We struggle against Wolves this season because, again, it really does suit us the way that Wolves play. And I think we'd be that for Barca. So I would rather face Barca. I was asking the question earlier and I didn't answer my own question, but, I don't fear Atletico.
What are you saying, T?
Well, fair enough. Anybody on the tie, actually, because I fancied this Arsenal team against the high line because we're a very good defensive team, and unless we can't be too conservative against the high line. There's a lot of space, and Gyökeres thrives on spaces like that. Martinelli, we all know what he can do with that kind of space. Atletico, on the other hand, they're going to make it scrappy against us. I mean, yes, we beat them. I think it was 3 or 4 in the first leg. I mean, the first encounter in the group stage. We did beat them comfortably, but the first half was looking really, really cagey. And this is going to be a 2-legged affair. Luckily, we're going to play the first leg away, so we have the home advantage in the second leg. But Atletico is going to make it cagey, and it's the semi-finals. We don't expect them to play the same way they did in the group stage. So I think looking at the way the game is panning out, Atletico may end up being even the tougher opponent because of their coach and the style of play. And we also can play that style of play. The only issue I have, which funny enough doesn't seem to be occurring in the Champions League, is players stepping up when counted. Martinelli has been doing very well for us. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like we watch 2 different players. Like everyone, like this Martinelli dropped a disaster class in the FA Cup. All of a sudden came in and dropped a master class in the Champions League. So I think there's something about these players when it comes to the Champions League. Like they also want it. So they just need to be clinical on the day, because if you play Atletico Madrid, we're going to get chances. They don't dominate possession. They also like to sit back, make it tight. So we're also going to get chances to play and score. For me, at this point, I don't care really anymore. I don't care. I only just play who is going to play the team that's going to be in front of you when the time comes. Because a lot of us probably thought it was going to be Bodo Glimt, and then Sporting turned it around, and now we're playing Sporting. We've done the job, 1-0 away. Do the job at the Emirates, and wherever it is. I mean, the tie is not really over. It's a Madrid. It's Atletico and it's Barcelona. What's stopping Barcelona from beating them 3-0 in the second leg? We really don't know. It's just half time, and it's not even half time yet.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, but yeah, it's obviously going to take a lot for Barcelona to overturn them. But if the problem is with obviously them having to get a 3-0 is that they have to give up even more space.
Yeah.
So that high line gets higher and higher and higher and higher until there is no line anymore. It's just open season, and they've only got to get one on the counter.
And suddenly you need four.
You need four. So and again, it's better because of the away goals rule and whatever that's scrapped. But I do think that obviously if you go away from home and you're taking a 2-goal lead back home, that is immense. I do think that's immense. In terms of us, who we play, I don't care, to be honest with you. I get to a semi-final, I don't really care. We've already proved that we can beat Atletico, like you said, and I'm sure it was 4-0, wasn't it?
It was 4-0,
4-0.
So it was 3-1 against Bayern and 4-0 against Atletico, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't expect a repeat of that, by the way, but...
No, but it just proves that we can deal with what they throw at us. And all right, yes, I do think that we played slightly differently. But I think that we now play with total control. And and we kind of dictate what's going to happen more or less. And I think Atletico played a very similar kind of way. And I think that is not one for the neutrals whatsoever.
No.
No neutral wants to see that. Because it just won't be fun.
It's one for the foot for the what's it? The foot. I can't think what the phrase is now. But
the purist.
The purist. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. But yeah, exactly that. And look, Arsenal have changed the way they play. SJ was absolutely right earlier, but I think a lot of that is because of the fact that, you know, as you get more into the season, the legs can't quite do it. That you know, it's why we fell off in our first sort of title fight under Arteta, that and the lack of depth. But you can't sustain that. Liverpool did the same, despite having a better squad than us, couldn't maintain it because of that. So we've gone from that to this sort of control, and that's about protecting the players' legs going into these sort of final few weeks of the season. So, you know, but as you say, it will make for a more boring contest. But I think it's also the right way to play if you're playing Atletico.
Tell Gavs, Arsenal invented the dark arts.
I'm not sure we did invent the dark arts at all, to be honest with you. I think I mean, his club were very up there inventing dark arts, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but they weren't calling it dark arts. They started calling it dark arts when Arsenal was doing it.
Well, that is true. But when actually they did call it dark arts, but they meant it as a compliment.
Yeah.
And when we started doing it, it's dark arts and it's evil Lord, whatever his name is, Voldemort. That's it.
Yeah. But I mean, we did it under Graham. Wimbledon did it under, you know, Joe Kinnear. It will have been around in the 70s, which predates me. You know, they've always been around. Yeah,
I mean, if you've seen the clip of the guy, I can't remember his name to give him credit, to be honest. But he did a thing where if you think the shithousery and whatever only just came now, then it's only because
you didn't see what came before.
There's more games on now. So basically, when you were looking in 2004, when we were going in an invincible season, they only showed 80 games. You couldn't watch the other games. You seen it on Match of the Day. That's it. When we all know Match of the Day are very selective what they show you. They don't even show you penalty shouts.
Yeah. Well, they've got so many games and so little, so little time. So of course they don't. But but of course they're only going to show you the best bits. They're not going to watch 20 balls going to the cross and be headed away into the box and be headed away, are they?
No, exactly. So you've got all that going on. So it's basically that's all people watched. You saw highlights, which are actually highlights, and you knew whether you wanted to be in the running for all the run of all the games by who started, who was first on the list. And if that first one on the list is a 1-0, you ain't watching the rest of them.
You don't watch the rest, exactly.
Unless they're going to gradually get worse.
Yeah, you maybe go to the second game if you've got, I don't know, Manchester United v Arsenal, it's 1-0 and, there's 3 games to go and they're going for the title. Maybe you go, well, that's why it's first. Let's stick out the second game. But it gets worse. No, unless it's your team, no one watches the last game on Match of the Day ever. No one. And we have been in the last game on Match of the Day quite often, to be fair, because obviously they like to scrutinise the running order, and they had a Tottenham fan on there for a long time. So, obviously it got to the back end a few times. Yeah, and also we've not been exciting to watch, to be fair, but...
but I mean, I'm talking historically. I'm talking a long way down the line. I mean, in fairness, I don't watch it anymore. I stopped watching it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I watch quicker and easier ways to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I watch most of the games anyway, and I can... get highlights up and I can skip through videos and watch it for myself without watching some biased commentary on it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Score predictions then for the Bournemouth game before we get out of here.
Arsenal 2, AFC Bournemouth 1. Yokeres, I think, will get one.
Okay.
Yeah, 1-0 to the Arsenal.
You're going on 1-0 as well.
Yeah.
See, I know that people have warned that they're going to be stinky, but the problem is that Bournemouth are one of those sides that will come out and attack, won't they?
Yeah, that's why I think they'll get at least one. Well, hopefully hopefully none, but
yeah, I'm going to go 2-0. Optimistic.
I sincerely hope you're right. I don't really care. I just want to win. Put the pressure on City and hope that Gav's Chelsea do us a favour in return for opening up. In return for opening up.
I honestly don't care because it's another one scratched off. We just got to win it. As I say, another one scratched off the list, and then we can go to Etihad. And if we win, we win. If we draw, then I don't care. But
I'd take a draw right now at the Etihad. I honestly would. People can say, "Oh, you're not proper fan. Typical Arsenal." I don't care. A draw at the Etihad, still a minimum of 6-point lead, and at that point, it would be 5 to go, assuming we win and City win.
Yeah, but they can only score the same amount of points as we can at that point. So
exactly,
and it might not even get to the game in hand anyway. So it's
that I was including them winning the game in hand by saying let's assume both teams win this weekend. We then draw at the Etihad next weekend, and they'll have a full week's rest, by the way, going into that game. You'd be in that scenario.
Yeah, we got the Champions League game in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Before of it, and we. Yeah.
I hope you're right, Khalid, by the way. But I'm taking a draw right now. To say we win and they win this weekend. Let's say they beat Crystal Palace with their game in hand. That's 6 points with 5 to play. That's a big advantage still.
But yeah, I think if we win Saturday, they basically get some. Well, even if they win, I don't see them catching up, to be honest. But
it's a big ask.
It's down to us. It's down to us to not drop points. Gav says, do you ever think they'll scrap the 3 p.m. blackout? There's always been murmurings about it, but there's different people that say that there's different reasons for it, and the main reason is not to protect the football pyramid. We all know that. It's just nonsense, isn't it? I wish that it'd been gone out the window a long time ago, to be honest. But I can't see him getting rid of it. I don't know about you guys.
I don't think so, and I don't think the clamour's there for it anymore either, because you can still get them if you know where to go. So, I think it kind of calms it down. Where's this 2-1, by the way? I'm still seeing 2-0 everywhere. Oh, that's the score prediction. Sorry, I've been dumb. Sorry.
That's a prediction for the Bournemouth one. So it's still 2-0. Been having dreams we win there like Anakin. Huh?
He's talking about Star Wars. I don't.
Okay.
But I don't.
I have got a Star Wars thing on, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember Anakin's dreams, but I don't watch it enough to.
No,
I'm not saying he didn't, because I'm. Well, I've seen them. I'm not sort of on that sort of level of fan. Yeah, it's definitely that.
So do you think City drop points versus Chelsea? I think there's potential. I think there's potential with every single game they play.
Yeah, because of the way they play. But I also think the competitiveness of the league means you're exactly right. That applies to everyone. But yeah, I think this is obviously...
They got to go Everton away, haven't they?
Yeah. But this is one of the ones where you're looking at their fixtures and going, there's a real decent chance that they don't win that one.
Yeah.
It's one of their tougher games when you look at it. They've got them away, us home, Burnley away, which you'd expect them to win. And then they got Everton away. And then you'd expect them to win their last two, which are Brentford and Bournemouth. So Everton and Chelsea are the ones where you'd be...
Bournemouth's away, though, isn't it?
It is away, yeah. And then they got Villa to end. And they got Palace at some point.
I mean, Bournemouth have been tricky for a lot of opponents, to be fair.
Yeah, I was quite pleased to win there. I know it was
the Villa game, though, that may be tricky because...
Last game, though, isn't it?
But yeah.
Yeah, and Villa may still need a win or a draw to get into the Champions League. Who knows?
Yes, because we have Pooh and we have a dummy as a manager. I mean, I don't rate him as a manager, to be honest. I quite like the guy, but I just don't see him making it as a manager, to be honest. Not of Chelsea, anyway.
Canate's about to be sent off here.
Canate?
About to be sent off. VAR having a look, and I think quick little look. That looks like he's pushed him over there. And if he is, he's a yellow. And it's in the box, by the way.
It's a yellow.
No penalty.
It's soft.
Not enough contact. So there we go.
It's soft.
Yeah.
If we drop points to Bournemouth, do you think it's over?
No.
I mean,
but I think it ramps up the pressure a lot.
No, it's not over because we have a decent points advantage. And City could drop the same amount of points to Chelsea, to be fair. But
I also think that City's only chance of winning league, in my view, is going perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced they will. And if they do, fair play. But I still think our points advantage is relatively significant still.
Yeah. Oof. We'll stay on a couple of minutes just while the games finish, just to get some random reaction. If you want to say on
it. Paris Saint-Germain's finished. We're just waiting on Barca now.
I don't think Liverpool. It's going to be hard though, but it's the Champions League. I don't know. Liverpool could turn it up. They may, but it's a long shot. I don't think they're going to be able to. And Liverpool, I'm talking about overturning this 2-goal deficit. I mean, it is possible, but
the only plus side is that they take that home, innit?
Yeah. So and then again, you don't know they could score in the first 10 minutes at home, and it becomes a tie.
Yeah, big early goal, and that ramps up the pressure a lot. I mean, that Anfield atmosphere, like genuinely, like I it's not there all the time. The idea that it's like that every single game is
but in Europe in general,
under the lights, yeah. And I think while they want Slot out, I think they will be behind that side next week.
Yeah, they want to win the Champions League more than getting Slot out.
Make sure they're in it next year. But
yeah. Well, I can't even get the table up now.
I can.
Will Timber start the next game? We presume so. He said he was back for the weekend.
I think they said he was in contention for the weekend, didn't they?
Yeah. So I guess time will tell. We'll see whether he's in actual training or not.
But also, you just can't take what Arteta said seriously in his press conferences about that sort of thing. But Liverpool currently 5th, 1 point ahead of Chelsea in 6th, and 3 points ahead of both Everton and Brentford in 7th and 8th, respectively. Could you imagine Everton getting 5th and Liverpool finishing 6th? I mean, they'd have to come past Chelsea as well, but
I'd love to see a Brentford or something like that get the 5th spot.
Be amazing, wouldn't it? I'd like to see Everton for David Moyes, to be honest.
I wouldn't mind Everton actually as well, but then they did do it once, didn't they, and got actually absolutely destroyed even in the group stage.
Did they not even get? Did they get to the group stage? I thought they went out in their sort of preliminary, but I don't know.
Oh, they might have done actually. Yeah, you might be right. They got done before the actual proper, as it was called at the time, because you had to do the qualifying rounds, didn't you? At that point,
yeah.
So it was only first
three would have got in.
No, first and second, and then
first and second, and then
third had to do one,
and the fourth had to do 2.
Fourth had to do 2. Yeah. So who do you think goes down? It's tough. I mean, I still have a feeling Forest take the other drop spot.
I'm not ruling out Leeds, you know.
They've had a bad run, and they're still in FA Cup.
4 points off, and in the last 6, draw, lose, draw.
Yeah.
I mean, Forest is draw, lose, draw, win. Spurs is straight losses with 1 draw. You know, West Ham, I think, will escape.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Spurs go down. I think
I just don't see it. Just be not quite enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Really?
Unfortunately.
I think the change of manager there is
Gav says Spurs, hopefully. I mean, it would be epic. We win the title, Spurs get relegated in the same season. That would be epic.
You did see the video where Agbala said that Spurs going down will be more talked about than us winning the title if both happens.
No, it won't.
I mean, he's just trying to.
In some ways, it's a bigger story, but I mean, from an Arsenal point of view, obviously, I don't care. You know, I'm taking the league all day long. But Spurs would be the biggest club to go down in the Premier League history, in my view. And it's over. Atletico will take a 2-0 lead back.
Who's got booked there? One of the coaches got booked. They're all moaning to the ref.
Surely not Simeone.
No, it wasn't Simeone.
No, it'd be a Barca coach.
It was a Barca coach, I think. So there you go. Atleti win 2-0 away at Nou Camp, and Liverpool lose 2-0 at the Parc des Princes. And there we go. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us, T. Eventually, took the scenic route.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you not find the link when Thingy put it in there? When Dom put it in there?
No. When he put it there, I saw it, but then
it took about an hour to get in after.
Yeah. So the moment I saw the link, Mike started giving me issues. So I had to sort that one out.
Fair. It's a good excuse, I suppose. Oh dear. Thanks for joining us again, Dom.
Pleasure as always.
Nice one. We'll be back next week, probably Tuesday. Hopefully with 3 points in the bag from Bournemouth and potential lost points from City. So
that would be an ideal world, wouldn't it?
That would be an ideal world, but we can only dream for the moment. But there we go. But yeah, in the meantime, thanks for joining us. If you're in the stream, please make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. Share the live, drop any comments in the comment section, and we'll get back to them when we can. And we'll see you again soon. Good night.